Hello, everybody. Okay, I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to do kind of a portrait painting of a good buddy of mine that we call Bear. Michael Medved is his name. We call him the Bear because Medved is Russian for bear. But first of all, I'm just going to use some mineral spirits. I've got Prussian blue, raw umber, dioxazine purple. I'm even putting a little bit of liquid in there. And I'm just going to cover the canvas, the background. I did a little sketch here of Bear ahead of time, so I kind of know where everything goes. That, and I get warmed up and get used to his face. Although I see him every Monday and Tuesday night. Even though I see him every Monday and Tuesday night, it's still hard getting used to a face like that. Bear will probably laugh at that when he sees the video. Get a little white in there too, a little zinc white to start out. I'm almost considering putting a little, the reason I know Bear is through a ministry that both of us belong to, Christian ministry called The Forge. We go down and help the homeless in downtown Kansas City every Monday night. Giving them clothes that have been donated to our organization. And then on Tuesday night, we always have Bible study through the same organization. But I'm almost considering putting maybe a dove or something, or a dove figure here representing the Holy Spirit, but I haven't decided yet. That's why I left so much space up top. Depends on how the composition goes here. Go ahead and get the edges of my canvas while I'm going here too. Because you know what's going to happen. I'm going to have to give this painting to Bear when I'm done, because there ain't nobody going to want to buy this painting. There ain't nobody wanting Bear's face hanging on their wall except for Bear, maybe his wife. Now Bear's got an interesting, strong face, so that's why I'm painting him. Plus, I kind of like painting the things we do down there at the with the homeless. mission that we got going on. I painted a few paintings with the guys I work with down there. Already painted a painting of Bill and painted a painting with Paul in it. Got one with Poncho in it, so been trying to get a good shot of Bear for a while now. This is actually taken by another guy in our ministry, this photo. And I asked him if I could use the photo. We call him Obed. He took the photo. And I thought, man, that's a really good photo of Bear. I haven't been able to get a good shot of him yet. And somehow Obed got a good shot of him, so I asked him if I could use it. I was like, right on. Thanks, Obed, for the help. All right. Now I'm gonna fill in his shirt next, just because I already got that dark color on my palette. If I say color the wrong way, just let me know in the comments. Sometimes my redneck accent gets in the way of me properly pronouncing a word. All right, let's get that dark shirt he's wearing in there. So I'm just laying in a base colors right now. Something to work with. Using a big number 14 flat brush. Keeping it loose, holding it way back at the back of the handle. Oh, maybe some liquid, but not that much liquid. I'm going through that blue really fast. Need some more. Looking for big blocks of color right now. Big shapes. Okay, Bear's wearing a pair of sunglasses in this photo, which is kind of cool. So we'll block that in. They're pretty dark. So his head's kind of turned that way. That's why one side of his shades is going up at a, this is more of a slanted angle. That one's going up towards the top of the canvas more. And I'm not worried. I mean, I'm trying to get the shape kind of halfway correct of the glasses, but I can fill in with his face if I mess something up. So I'm not real concerned about getting it exactly right yet. I'll work into that. I'm just trying to get color on the canvas. Okay, now I'm going to start laying in his skin tones. So I got to get some paint out here on the palette. I'm going to go for cadmium orange. Burnt sienna. Burnt umber. Right now we're going to go with cobalt blue because I don't want any blues being too strong out here. So let's go with those colors. Trying to pronounce it right. Got to make a distinct effort to pronounce things correctly. Okay, let's dip into the cad. Taking some of that zinc white, cad orange. A little bit of burnt sienna. We get kind of a nice orangey tone here. Now for me, old men are really fun to paint because they got really distinctive features. Lots happen through their lives. Scars, wrinkles, that type of thing. Character, they got a lot of character. They got attitude. They get tired, they get pissed off, that type of thing. So you got to relate all of that in the painting. They're more confident than young men a lot of times. And I'm not talking about overconfidence. I'm talking about confident in what they believe because they just got more years on them. More knowledge, more wisdom. I'm not as old as Bear, but I'm definitely in the across the midpoint of life, so I'm starting to pick up on these traits that these older men have now. Bear's in his 70s and he's still down there helping us out and working hard and doing all kinds of stuff. So Hopefully I'm in that good a shape when I'm 70 one of these days, if I make it that, if the good Lord lets me make it that far. Okay, this side of his face on the left side here is, well, on the left side of the painting, his right side, but that's where the light's coming from, so I'm going to make that side lighter. A little bit darker here, but I don't want it too dark. Now I paint people, but I usually paint them far off, so I usually don't paint like an all-out portrait like this. So this is actually kind of new for me here. I've never painted like a person this close up before, so we'll see how it goes. If we have any portrait artists out there in the comments, please comment and say, Dave, that ain't the way you do it. Or Dave, you're doing all right. I'd love to hear either one. Or, what the hell are you doing, Dave? That's stupid. Or Dave, yeah, right on, Dave. Okay, enough talking to myself. All right. All right, got some darks in there to kind of define that nose. Okay, he's got a lot of whiskers, so you're not going to see too much of his mouth really. So I'm just kind of putting in, there where his mouth is, and then basically it's going to be whiskers kind of covering his mouth. See, I got to get in the skin below his nose there. And hopefully this will start to kind of look like bear. I think it's starting to kind of look like bear already, but you know, we'll just have to keep going and see. Just got to keep shaping it and we'll see where we go with it. No matter what color your skin is, black, white, you know, brown, whatever, the basic skin work with orange and orange color, and then adjust all of the shadows and the lights out of that orange color. So that's why I'm laying in this orange color here. Old Bear's a white dude, so I'll lay in some later. I'll lay in some skin tones on top of this with that orange base, and it'll give that nice glow that you have of skin tones. If I was painting a black guy or a Mexican guy, whatever, I would lay in the same orange base first, and then adjust everything from there. So in other words, use orange for your first base coat, and then go from there. Okay, Bear's got nice gray, white hair. So I'm going to put some titanium white out here, and we're going to lay in his hair. And I kind of want to, I don't want it like totally white. I basically want to mix up a gray color is what I want to do. So I think I'm just going to use neutral gray, actually, if I can find it here. And then in the final process, whenever I put my highlights on there, they will show up against that nice gray tone. You know what my problem is? I am looking in the wrong tub. That's my problem. No wonder I couldn't find it. Neutral gray, here we go. Mixed with a little bit of titanium white. Okay, he's got kind of some hair flowing off of the side of his head. The wind was blowing that day, so his hair is going to kind of be blowing this direction, and he's got long hair. He's got it in a ponytail. So we're just going to have kind of a sweeping motion here. Let's see, he's got his beard starts kind of clear back here. Get his mustache in here. I mustache you a question. I'm going to rub some of that skin tone down in here because you can kind of see some of that skin tone through his whiskers. Get two brushes going here. So I got the underneath here, we got kind of a skin tone around his mouth. Probably kind of right in there too. All right. Oop, didn't want to dip in that. All right, back to the whiskers. Old Bear. I love this guy. He's a tough old fart. Now he's got a nice kind of curved shape to that beard. I don't know if he trims it or not, but it's like almost a perfect oval. It's kind of GQ. All right. I think it's starting to look like Bear. Then I almost forgot he's got his ponytail hair flying back behind him in the wind. Definitely got to get that in. Wouldn't be Bear without that old ponytail. A little wispy stragglers back here behind his ear. There we go. All right, now I'm going to take this gray and this white, and I'm going to start laying in where some of these wrinkles in his shirt would be. Light hitting his shirt and everything here. Kind of blending it in as I go. Now you don't want to make this light hitting this these wrinkles in this shirt too bright yet. Save your strongest tones for the end of the painting. Kind of try to think mid-tones right now. And I might have to darken the background back there in a few areas to get that shirt to show up better. But that's okay. I can do that. Then over on this shoulder, you're going to have not as much light hitting over on this side, but a little bit. It's almost like Bear posed for this picture, but he didn't. All right, we got a decent block end going now. I like it. Now with my titanium white, I can start playing up some of the highlights a little bit, like he's got the sun hitting his head right here real strong. And that's going to blend in with that underpainting right now, which is what we want, because like I said, we're going to save the strongest tones for the end of the painting. And this is definitely not the end of the painting. Got some strong light hitting the side of his cheek here. Right there. And then right there. Now here's a nifty little trick. I can kind of see through his shades, so I'm going to put some color in there to give the impression that I'm seeing through his shades on his sunglasses there. A little bit on the other side, but not much. All right, then over his eyebrow there, you get kind of the bridge the bridge of his, I guess you'd call it the bridge of his eyebrow. I don't know. Kind of catching light right there. Not as much on this side, so as the paint runs out of my brush, I'll use it over here. Kind of blend that in there. I hope Bear likes this. Bear doesn't know I'm painting it until he'll see it after I post it, so hopefully he likes it. Okay, this needs to be a little bit rounded, more rounded, right here on his nostril. And let's see, got some light kind of hitting and defining the roundness or whatever of his nose there. Let's see, this area right here looks a little bit off, so we'll kind of blend that back in there. There, that looks a little bit better. Okay, I'm going to get a little bit of cobalt blue out here for a little bit of a blue hue. And in some areas, it's kind of like reflected light hitting him, like down here, it's kind of a bluish, cooler light. So I'm just going to kind of scrub that in a few areas. This gives better form and everything to the painting when you got reflected, you know, different hues and stuff. One little wispy hair coming up like this, it's kind of cool. Don't miss all them wispy hairs. They really set a painting apart. All right, I want to kind of do a better job, see if I can get the shape of these sunglasses a little bit better. This one's kind of wonky over on this side, so we need to fix it. That might be a little bit better. I think that's a little bit better. Got to put my areas back in where I could see through his sunglasses here. All right, let's see here. Maybe the top of them sunglasses needs a little something there. There we go. Let me step back and kind of look at that. Actually, let me fix this here real fast, then I'll step back and look at it. All right, let me step back and look at that. All right, so far, I think that's doing pretty good. So I'm going to leave it there and let it dry. Till next time, Christ is King, pain is out.